welcome once again. All Takes Valid, episode 22. As always, I go by Trill Trayy, joined as always with SP21 or Spence.
You already know it.
So, Vic, go ahead and give him the rundown for this episode.
Okay, so we got the recap of week 15, followed by the power rankings, and then we'll finish off with pick'ems for Friday and Saturday football games. Usually we have Thursdays, but we don't have it this week. As always, like, comment on the video with your thoughts and opinions about it. We appreciate all feedback. Tell your friends, family about the channel. Let's continue to help this channel grow. We greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, we'll just go ahead and recap the week 15 games. We had the Green Bay Packers beat the Carolina Panthers. The Colts beat the Houston Texans. Tennessee beat the Detroit Lions. Chicago with the upset against the Minnesota Vikings. Seattle beat the Washington football team. Miami handled their business to continue to secure their playoff spot. It's not over yet, but they're still fighting. Baltimore beat Jacksonville. Tampa Bay, well, Atlanta blew another one. Tampa Bay wins again. Dallas beat the 49ers. Arizona beat Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Spencer's favorite team, the New York Jets, beat the Los Angeles Rams.
How?
Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the New Orleans. Drew Brees' first game back. Cleveland handled the New York Giants. And upset of the week, well, actually one of the upsets of the week, Pittsburgh lost to Cincinnati. So with that being said, I know we have a image that Spence has on his background, so we can go ahead and pop it off with that game, get that sore, handled right now. So, Trey, want to go ahead and tell the fans your thoughts and opinions about this game, what your team is looking like going forward.
I have nothing to say.
Wow.
Nothing to say.
Nothing?
That's the first.
Nothing
Wait. Nothing?
Nope, nothing to say.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing to say.
Wow.
I don't know.
You play. Come on, man. You play.
I'm serious.
You have nothing to say?
Nope. Nothing.
So this loss got you that speechless?
Nothing to say.
Wow.
It is surprising. It is surprising.
I knew you as soon as the game hit. I knew you will have everything you're gonna spill off your chest. I know you had, but nothing.
Nope.
Wow. Well, with that saying, I guess I'll say my quick piece about it. Wow. Man. We haven't the only Finley I know is Fit Finley, and he's out of the WWE. But this one had a good game. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but hey, it's a 4th round quarterback. What do you expect? But Bernard did most of the heavy lifting. I mean, there was some passes that he did that was okay, and of course the quarterback sneak run he did. Of course, the coach was finna bite it because the first time they did it, all y'all bit for that one. So he's like, I'll test my luck, see again. Boom, there it is. But other than that, man, that defense is doing everything they can, but that offense is not paying it forward. The short passes, it's cool, but you guys got to move. The running game was kind of there, but then y'all like run away from it. Like I told you, it's. I think it's a time that you may have to look for another quarterback. I don't think Ben can do it no more. And if that's the case, man, Carson wants out. So hey, look, hey, you Carson. But other than that, man, it tells Juju stop dancing.
You stopped on that play.
He's giving him some kills. Do you know he has to have? Did you know he's never been 100 yards game since AB left? And he wants to be the number one, baby. You haven't reached 100 yet. How you be number one with no 100 yet? All I'm saying is this, Trey. Y'all, that scenario, I tell you, man, if it comes true, man, it's a scary scenario. But right now, the way it's looking, that scenario might happen. So y'all got to turn around. Y'all got to. Because y'all playing the game that me and you talked about that potentially can be a loss. By the way, y'all playing. Don't let Phillip Rivers have a game, man. Don't let Philly have a game, man. I see out my piece. Go, Vick, you got anything? I'm good, man.
I mean, I never would have thought, but
right.
In the movie theaters, they always say silence is golden. Well,
right.
This is priceless.
Oh man, I knew it.
Trey and I have a word, a squeak to say about his team.
Nothing.
I feel for him though.
Wait, Trey. Nothing though.
I mean, how many times I gotta say I don't have anything to say?
I'm just listen. I get it. I'm just in shock. I'm just in shock. That's it. I'm just in shock. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I'm just in shock.
That's why I have nothing to say.
I got you.
Well,
why I have nothing to say.
I got you, man. I'm just
like I said. I mean, I'm definitely, I'm not as shocked as Trey is. Not saying I expected the Bengals to win because that would be a lie, but
yeah.
I just, like I told y'all last episode, I actually probably said it the episode before that. These Pittsburgh Steelers are giving me vibes of the New England Patriots of last season. Started off undefeated. They were the hot team around here. The talk about the perfect season, even though they didn't look like an undefeated team. They didn't look that great in my eyes. But I was I guess I wouldn't, as they always say, you're a hater if you're going against a team that's hot and, they're winless and all that stuff. But I don't know what's going on with Pittsburgh right now. Obviously, we all see drop balls.
No, that's something they didn't do last night. They did. That's one thing.
No, they didn't drop.
Well, I'm just talking about like over the past 3 games. Like, yeah, this one they didn't have that issue, but it's just they don't play like it's kind of like with the Bucks, like how they played against the Falcons. Like they didn't show up the first half, but it felt like the Steelers did the same thing. They didn't show up the first half, and then even then, like in the second half, it was like very inconsistent. Like some drives they would pull it together, other drives they wouldn't. There was some, I guess some errant throws on Ben's part. There were some penalties that I could say, like especially that last play that the Steelers had, well, the second last play where Ben threw it to Claypool and it looked like a definitive pass interference. But no, it's just obviously they got injuries too for the Steelers, so that has a big part in
side of the ball. Can't get on the defense side of the ball.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. And as we've all been saying, the run game even though it was, again, it was the Bengals, so I mean, you can't really get too high on it, but that's gonna it's gonna take you as far as you go. I mean, for the Patriots, I mean the Steelers, their run game is gonna be what determines whether they can, you know, make a Super Bowl run or not. But I honestly don't believe that they have Super Bowl aspirations. Yeah, they can get into the playoffs, but
Super
that's
Bowl.
probably as far as it's gonna go.
Yeah.
That's as far as it's gonna go. Cause yeah,
Super Bowl and Steelers don't go together right now.
yeah, yeah. Right now, no. So I mean, other than that, I mean, I'm I wasn't impressed. I was definitely, obviously, as a Ravens fan, excited, but uh, as I'll say now, which I was talking to Spencer offline, I will be rooting for y'all this weekend, but I would not be surprised if y'all let us down either. It actually benefits us that y'all do win than to continue to lose out, because obviously, you have the Colts this weekend, and uh, as an AFC North competitor, we all don't want to see the Cleveland Browns. I'd rather see the Pittsburgh Steelers be the division champs than the Cleveland Browns. But right now, it's not looking like that's going to happen based on the scenario. But yeah, we will have to wait and see when that time comes. But
Also,
uh,
also if things keep trending how they're going, in a sense, us losing, y'all might not get in.
exactly, exactly. So that's why,
So there's some
again,
silver lining, I guess.
yeah, some
I
silver
mean,
lining with that. It's just, the biggest thing is, we need y'all to beat the Colts this weekend, or we need the Raiders to, which is a kind of a preview, but the Raiders to upset the Miami Dolphins this weekend.
Your heart's gonna get broken.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't believe that the Raiders will win, but
I
if it does,
li- listen,
at this
listen,
point, the Jets are your best chance right now.
listen,
Beat the
if they can
Browns.
have another one of those games,
listen,
I
we'll
listen.
mean,
see.
they already took themselves out of the sweep, so you might as well just go all out.
Right, right. But here's the thing: they can't now. Here's the thing. Before we get to that, Vic, let me help you out. Yeah, he had a good game. He's Marcus Mariota ain't gonna Oregon us. Okay.
Is he even starting
Hey,
though?
Yeah,
They're
Derek
not.
Carr's out.
He's still out.
Yeah, he's out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
he pulled the groin and he out. He out.
oh yeah,
He out.
groin injuries is
That's another one of those things where kind of how I thought was going to happen with Jalen Hurts. We'll talk about that game in a second. I
Oh.
thought it was more so the Chargers, they prepared all week for Derek Carr. So when they started doing all the design runs and stuff with Mariota,
It,
Derek Carr doesn't do that. So it's like, I feel
it
like
throws you
they
off.
kind of got caught off guard. They weren't expecting Mariota's skill set. The Dolphins are going to come into it preparing for Mariota.
Yeah.
That's going to be the difference, I think. And I think it's safe to say that Miami's defense is significantly better than what the Chargers defense is as well. So
Oh yeah.
like a lot
yeah,
better. So I mean,
yeah, I agree.
yeah.
So back to your original statement. Yeah, your best hope is the Jets.
Yeah. No. Sticking with it. The
'Cause,
My best hope is the the Steelers holding it down and getting things, I guess, back together to where they can keep the Browns from having that potential. Even though I feel it right now, Trey doesn't even believe that, but
I tell
but
y'all
he
right
loves that.
now, ahead of Saturday, I'm picking the Colts in Pick'ems. I'll
Yeah.
let you know now.
Well, yeah. That's definitely, I think, everybody's vibe right now. So you would not be alone in that one.
No.
But yeah. You have any other games that y'all want to touch on? I know we just talked about one in particular. Uh,
Yes.
this,
One specifically personal to me specifically.
Mm,
One Jalen Hurts.
okay.
Congratulations, Mr. Hurts. Now, granted, they didn't win, but
Yeah.
he accumulated for those of you who play fantasy football. If I were to tell you that this kid were to have more fantasy points than Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, would you believe me? His second start against the Cardinals, would you think that would be possible? I didn't think it was going to be possible. 10-3 season in fantasy this year, and it went down
Mm,
the drain because of this guy,
mm.
Jalen Hurts. Huh? Wow, kids got it. Kids definitely got that ick factor though. They were they were a drive away pretty much from pulling a upset, I guess you would call it.
Yep.
I think he played a clean game. I don't believe he had any interceptions, if I'm correct. No picks. Touchdowns, three
Um,
passing and one rushing.
let me
Uh,
see.
yeah, Wentz. Yeah, you might want to start looking for houses elsewhere or put your house up for sale. I just don't see how. Now I get the money aspect of why you might have to do it, but as a GM, as a coach, like how can you justify week one next season naming Carson Wentz the starter? Looking at the
Uh,
offense a couple weeks ago compared to now, looks like totally different team. Which I mean,
so
I know
so
about teams looking like totally different teams, but we're not talking about that because I have nothing to say about those people.
hey, hang on before I continue on. Hang on a second. So Jalen had 24 for 44. He was 338 with 3 touchdowns, no picks.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mm,
yeah, 3 touchdowns and then he had one rushing, so 4 touchdowns total. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
mm.
balled out. Um, yeah,
that's for the people.
but the like I was saying though, there's I'm sorry, there's just nothing I can see right now. Granted, I guess it's a small sample size. You can if you want to keep saying that there's not enough film on him for teams to adjust yet, I guess you can say that, but
You know.
it's he brings just a different dynamic. It's kind of like what we talked about last week with the Raiders when Mariota got in there. Mobile quarterbacks, there's a different kind of like extras. Like okay, certain stuff you're gonna expect from a pocket passer, right? But when you have that extra added element to be able to use your legs, it's that much harder to defend a
Yeah.
quarterback like that.
Yeah.
We
I'd rather play somebody like a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning in the sense that I know that if we contain what we're supposed to contain, they're not going anywhere. I mean, you've seen Brady, scramble out and get like a
Here
first
and there.
down here and there, but it's not the same dynamic. You're never going to see them draw up a design run like even last night what they did with the kid Finley. Just because he has that little bit of legs that you wouldn't expect, and they caught us off guard with it, something like that. Just that little bit right there. That's all. But when you have somebody like Hurts who can do that effortlessly, and I swear it doesn't look like he's moving fast at all, but he's getting by people, kind of like
yeah,
Kyler
he
Murray, but he definitely got
oh you can see when Kyler Murray he's running, you can tell he's sliding, but
yeah,
with Jalen Hurts, he's just like a Cadillac. He's smooth. Like it's
yeah,
just
it doesn't
he's just coasting.
it,
Don't look like he's changing gears. Like Alvin Kamara.
yeah,
Alvin Kamara, he don't look like he's running, but he's moving. It's just it looks like the same gear all the way through.
yep. So I mean, I like I said, money wise, I would get why you would, I guess, have to give Wentz another one more shot. But for me, the future for Philly is already there. And like Spence keeps saying, he talked about 2 weeks in a row now. If this was a normal time and not this pandemic era and the fans were there was no way they would allow you to go back to Wentz because they would boo
No.
him out of the stadium.
Yep.
There's no way. There's no way you'd be able to do it.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
but before I let y'all go, if you got if Philly they decided that they're just gonna stick with their guy, they're gonna stick with Wentz. I I'll gladly we would gladly take Hurts in Pittsburgh.
Of course
You
you
guys
would.
don't
No.
want if you got
No.
we would gladly
Of course you would.
we would
No.
gladly.
That would fix the old Ben problem. Of course you
God,
would.
God, please don't allow that.
Listen,
Just
all
don't.
right. Let me
Yeah,
go
go
first
ahead. Go ahead.
so I can reign some clarity in this. Okay, number one, Deshaun Jackson's back.
Okay.
Okay.
So hey, got no receiver. Anyways, number two. I think we're about to enter the year of the Hurts. To be honest, Wentz out if he's not starting. To be honest, even though the Eagles are not winning games, they're looking way better than they're losing. So they look way better. Even though they lost, they only lost by one drive.
If he was starting from week one, they probably have more wins than they do right now.
I agree.
I agree. They
But
probably
then
have more
again,
wins.
then again, you also got to think about it too, because um, just like how with the Miami Dolphins, they didn't play Tua. I mean, even though they probably could have played him earlier, but who's to say that he was ready at that time? And with Brian Flores constantly tutoring Tua Tagovailoa, showing them what defenses are doing, the looks that they giving them an understanding of like why defense are doing, what a defense is trying to do against them, and etc. That time of him prepping and understanding, and that's why Brian Flores, from the reports I read, Brian Flores didn't start Tua Tagovailoa up until that point, which he did, which was questionable too because it was going against the Los Angeles Rams. Um, it was just all about preparation and getting him ready to where when he did start, that he was comfortable and he was ready to do so. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. Now, that could be wrong, but it's just, it's a theory,
I mean, look
just
at
because,
Herbert though.
yeah, Herbert, you thrust him into the starting lineup, which,
I mean,
nobody would have
it
thought he would have
translated
done.
into wins, but it wasn't
He's
necessarily
gotten production.
no fault of his. Like
Yeah.
he's done everything he could possibly do to help them win games on his part.
Yeah.
He doesn't really turn the ball over that much. I don't know how many picks he has on the season, but it's not many.
Yes. I don't think it's definitely not over 10 for sure. It's probably like closer to 7, I would say.
And then I also read that he leads the league in pass attempts, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're talking about Herbert. We're
yeah.
talking
Because
about this is like the dynamic of starting a QB right away or kind of grooming him a little bit.
but you also got to think too, like early on in the season, and I'm not saying like they're better off now, referring to the Eagles, but they definitely were. They definitely did have a more than depleted receiving core. But then again, everybody was talking about the tight ends, the offensive line. But despite all that, they're still technically going through all those problems. It's just Jalen
Exactly.
Hurts. He's been able to overcome those issues. Again, with it seems like it's a trend, but the year or the movement to mobile quarterback seems to be a lot of people because all I from all these teams, they're drafting, they're developing that are mobile to where they're presenting another element, as Trey was alluded to earlier. Because you see what Lamar, you see what Kyler Murray, you see what all these mobile quarterbacks are able to do, and just how they, even though they may have the number one run defense, like the Saints did. Actually, the Saints didn't have the number one, but they had number one defense overall, and just how Jalen Hurts just pretty much dismantled it. Even though you could probably say, hey, they didn't have much game tape, but same thing with like Lamar.
Steelers, they had, I think at that time, the number one or number two run defense, and they went over 200 yards rushing on the Pittsburgh Steelers, which me myself, I didn't think they would do, but I definitely did say that they would go over 100 yards rushing, but I just didn't think it was going to be like that because it looked too easy. But it's just the dynamic that mobile quarterbacks have nowadays compared to previously, and it just seems like defenses are just struggling to you know dissect that whole zone QB read scheme.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta understand before, like you said, like this whole influx of like mobile quarterbacks is happening because the game is changing. There's no like standard sit back in the pocket and wait type of quarterbacks really out there. Like now, there's still some that are still like back to the basics, but like
But
this,
that's the older guard though. That's your Brady's, your
right? That's what I'm saying. That's your older, like their older generations. Now, don't get me wrong. There's still some quarterbacks out there in college that are still in that offset, but to make yourself more available or more out there, you have to be mobile now. You have to be mobile. You have to get out and make plays sometimes. Like sometimes all your players are locked up, and it's up to you to make plays. If Michael Vick came out in this year instead of the year he came out, Vick will look like god dang star.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
because this year is all based for him. This is his playground. He can work with this.
Yeah. A lot of teams too, offensively, they're running a lot more spread offenses, which
Right.
In Vick's days it wasn't, that much spread offense. It was more two receiver sets,
Right.
double tight ends. So it was, a little bit more compact, but now it's like more spread out to where that zone read, that college football scheme is effective, which,
Even Tim Tebow might have been a little bit more successful in
You know what? Tim Tebow would have been okay. He would have been all right.
Honestly, yeah. Like if it was like last night against the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe. But then again, he did beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. But I don't know. His passing mechanics sometimes it's
But yeah, I wouldn't expect him to take no deep shots. I mean,
yeah.
He could do what Taysom Hill's doing. I believe
for sure. He would definitely have a field day and
more or less is more or less the RPO is what's really taking over in a sense. Is they're giving quarterbacks that much more, that run pass option in a sense. And if that first read's not there, they're going to pull it and they're going to take off themselves. So, which that's probably where most of his yards would come from. It probably wouldn't be him actually passing, or they use little dump offs or things like that. But I'm just saying, it was a few quarterbacks in that era where it was just like I don't know if you remember the quarterback we had in Miami, Spence, Pat White, at one point.
Pat White.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was a receiver and then he went to quarterback.
Yeah.
So him in that era, he was never going to actually get a chance to play quarterback.
No.
In this type of
he would have been fine.
Opportunity.
He would have been fine.
I'm not saying
he wouldn't do
great or anything, but I'm just saying it's like it's different. You could tell like it's a different time now where
it's a different NFL, gentlemen.
Look at Josh Allen. He's deceivingly quick. He's not fast, but he's a mobile quarterback at this point. Like, I think the only person who has more rushing touchdowns than him at this point right now is Lamar since their draft class. So, Mahomes, that's a very underrated part of his game. And I think that's what ultimately killed the Bucs in that game.
Yeah,
that last drive. The Bucks they took everything else away, and then in the end, Mahomes killed him with his legs.
Yep, he's
That's an underrated part of his game. You don't really think about that too much. You're worried about the deep ball and everything else he can do, the no look pass and all that crazy, all that stuff. But if he needs to scramble out, he's got some wheels on him.
he's got I mean, that's why that everybody usually compares him to him, but he has a lot of Aaron Rodgers qualities because Aaron Rodgers, before Patrick Mahomes came about, everything that Aaron Rodgers is doing, Patrick Mahomes is doing now, and maybe even better. Some can argue.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely more athletic than Aaron Rodgers, but
Yeah.
that just goes with the territory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. If you look around the league for the most part, if we were to go roster to roster for the most part, you have this type of dual threat quarterbacks. Like if you're just about going down the list, like Spence said, there's still a few teams that you don't necessarily have it, but for the most part, a good majority, I say that in the AFC for sure, it's like that. That's like the
You can't find no. I can't even think of a regular quarterback that's in the AFC now.
well, Phillip Rivers is the only one, but
Well, yeah. Oh yeah.
outside of that though,
Yeah, he's a cool. Yeah. Other than that, yeah.
yeah, it's like, and I keep saying that, and I really think that's why. Honestly, I don't think it was the roster. I don't think it was Belichick. I think that kind of factored into why Brady essentially left New England. I think he's seen because you got to remember last year, like Vic said, they were on that amazing run, and guess what? He lost to Deshaun Watson, he lost to Lamar Jackson, he lost to Patrick Mahomes. This is kind of like the changing of the guard in the AFC. He played against Josh Allen twice. Like these type of quarterbacks that you're gonna have to pretty much go through, well, your defense is gonna have to go through to get back to another Super Bowl. I feel like the path for him is, I'm not saying it's easier, but it's easier in the NFC at this point.
Because they're still mostly on old guards.
Yeah, you got Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson's really the only. Well, you got Kyler Murray too, but from like the older guard in the NFC, it's like I guess Russell Wilson, which he's still under their class. He's younger than them, so
yeah,
in a different era, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know.
We need
any other games that y'all want to talk about?
The Jets won, gentlemen. The Jets won. They lose. They suck at losing.
So yeah, what happened to the scripted playbook you were talking about? Because that couldn't have been part of the script.
They got the wrong script.
Oh.
They got the winning playbook. That was in the right script.
You were so high on the Rams last week, Vic. Weren't they in your top 5?
Yeah, they're definitely out of that.
Like, what's up with that? Like, oh man, it's like,
oh, trust me, the Rams next game, whoever has the Rams next game, may God bless their soul.
Yeah, you're gonna want to bounce back, but it's just like, how does that happen?
Poor planning.
Things trap game, you just knew you were gonna beat. I don't know. That's crazy.
Listen,
I don't know.
I'm good.
Yeah,
They must. I don't know.
So I guess with that being said, we can move on to the next topic.
Ow.